I remember myself, I think one day in 1997 or 1998, going to platform number 5 at Bandra to catch a fast local to my office then, and seeing the platform being washed. They were washing off the blood of somebody who had been shot dead by a gangster just an hour prior. And I mention this to say that how close the ordinary citizen was to the violence that was unleashed by the underworld at that time. Officers like Mr. Sivanandhan, of course, were at the forefront of it. In fact, for several years, leading the fight against the underworld. He was joint commissioner. I'm sure many of his colleagues are here, but for those who are new to Bombay, he was the joint commissioner at the crime branch from 98 to 2001, 98 to 2001, which is when the underworld was at its peak. In fact, somewhere in the book, there is a year when I think there were some 238 encounters in that. Overall, yes, cumulatively, yes. And then in 2008, in the immediate aftermath of the 26/11, he was made Commissioner of Mumbai. And he, of course, retired as DGP Maharashtra in 2011, capping a really illustrious career. 14 years after he quit the service, he has written this book about the Mumbai underworld, and which we are all gathered to hear. There have been many books, many films been written on the underworld, most of them from the point of view of the gangsters. This book, which is called, this is it, The Brahmastra Unleashed. I would urge everyone to get a copy. A first-person account of how the Mumbai underworld was annihilated is a unique book because it gives us a sense of the official version of what the cops went through. So I'm going to start, Mr. Sivanandhan, by asking you that when you saw these films, by the way, if you've seen the film Company, Mohanlal plays a character similar to, based on him. So when you saw these films and books, did you sometimes think, they don't know the half of it?
Yeah, but good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being in conversation with me. It's going to be an exciting evening because this is all about shootouts, blood and gore and things like that, which any TV show, Crime Patrol, would be showing you at this time at home, if you're inclined to that. But we will do the same here. So, tell me, what did you ask?
I asked you that when you would see these films or read these books written on the underworld, did you think that they don't know the full story?
I got it. From time immemorial, basically the real life stories only came as live pictures. If you're talking about Muqaddar Ka Sikandar or Diwar or so many such movies, basically they are all based on somebody or the other and the real life incidents. But then they do give a lot of frills to make it a saleable item. So much of these movies, which are very well made, slick and all that, have been funded and financed by the people who are the protagonists, that way, the gangsters. I mean, let me put it to you frankly. So these movies like Crime Patrol, the serial like Crime Patrol, or very many movies, for example, Once Upon a Time, Mumbai, or for that matter, all the RGV movies, Ram Gopal Verma movies, including Satya, Company, so many movies he made, Shiva, James, so many movies he made. Most of the things were a little bit of exaggerated and one-sided sometimes. One-sided in the sense sometimes it is pro-police or sometimes it is pro-gangster, depending upon who was funding and financing and who is the person behind the celluloid picture. So they were all, in a way, they are not very, very realistic. Either they said, okay, in many, many movies, the policeman is shown as an extraordinarily honest and this, that, and all that. And then in other ways, the gangsters, like in the movies where some I've seen, where a gangster throws a bundle of currency at the commissioner and then he picks it up, kind of thing. I mean, in a movie, perhaps in another fictional movie, the commissioner of police is bending before, kneeling before the home minister and things like that. So most of them never ever portrayed the real right picture. But then the secret of the movie is who funded it.
Yes.
Who funded it? Obviously, the diktat is from the person who funded the movie. So this is how the secret of the slickness of the movie. What I liked as a youngster, I was in the college when Muqaddar Ka Sikandar, Zanjeer and Diwar and things were made. In fact, they were I was at an impressionable age. Maybe because of such movies' impact, I joined the IPS. So you can say that these movies have impact. But then I never knew that these are all funded by the same Haji Mastan or Varadarajan Mudaliar. You know Varadarajan Mudaliar, another fantastic movie. In Tamil it's called Nayakan. Velu Nayakan
Mani
is the name
Ratnams,
of the...
yes.
Yeah, but then fabulous acting by Kamal Haasan. I believed whatever he did is right. So, and then the same movie came in Hindi called Dayavan. Either Mr. Firoz Khan or somebody had acted in that. It's not a copy. It's not a patch to that original thing. Even now, if I sit in front of that movie called Nayakan, I am glued to the TV. Yeah. I still believe whatever he's shown is the right thing.
I want to ask you that, we are talking about the underworld, but I think post 2005, I think the journalist J.Day's killing was possibly the last big strike of the underworld. 20 years on, is the underworld really dead? And why is it important for us to understand about the Mumbai underworld?
Half of this audience or more of them are my good friends. So I can't be giving you a whitewashed kind of reply. True, to be very, very honest, this underworld can never be eliminated in its entirety. What Mumbai Police did, or what the book is extolling the virtues of Mumbai Police for having got rid of this thing, is only the extortion calls and the shootouts of the businessmen who are worth hundreds of crores each. Gulshan Kumar or Taqiyuddin Wahid or Om Prakash Kukreja or Natwar Lal Shah. These are the kind of people who were shot. So those things completely stopped as per your say from 2001, 2002 to 2025. One exception in between, he is not a businessman, J.Day was shot by Chota Rajan. One exception. The other one is 2025 January where Baba Siddiqui, a man allegedly worth 15,000 crore, was shot dead alongside his Range Rover. Maybe it was bulletproof kind of car, and also a policeman to protect him. That is the only exception. But then, again, another exception to that is to say that it was done by allegedly Lawrence Bishnoi of Punjab, Canada, American fame. Not these original Apna, son of the soil gangsters.
Mumbai gangsters.
So, what we have given relief is that our own homegrown people like Karim Lala, Varadarajan Mudaliar or Haji Mastan, that period apart, the latest Konkani Muslim crowd called Dawood Ibrahim and his cohorts, and then the breakaway groups like Chota Rajan or Abu Salem or Amar Naik or Arun Gavli, all of them, whatever they did, was at a peak 1,000, 2,000 calls a day to businessmen saying that money or your life. And whoever perhaps have not paid, they did pay through their life. So that has been completely stopped. To answer your question, today there is a land mafia, water mafia, maybe a AQI mafia, and then so many other mafias are there. Race horse related matters are there, cricket match betting is there, and so many other things are happening. Political mafia is there, and arms running, narcotics business. Narcotics is a thriving business here. Who is doing it? Gold prices, now it is touching the sky, right? So gold is required. So then somebody is demand and supply. That wherever there is a demand, supply is met. So that is what is the thing happening. So today, the mafia is very much there. What has been guaranteed by Mumbai Police and these operations which we describe is the violence part of it. That is where I call this the Brahmastra, where the violence has been removed, no business. For example, one flat purchased, immediately a call will come, Alishan flat le liya. It could be a one bedroom flat, half bedroom flat, Alishan le liya kya, 50 lakh de do, 5 koti de do. Today we are here in multi-story structures which are all excellent properties. No call has come ever to anybody. Or for that matter, a purchase of a car or the marriage of a son or a daughter. Everything. Mumbai became a Beirut in the year 1998. Because in 1 year, ladies and gentlemen, 101 businessmen were shot dead. By dividing 365, it will be 3.5 days once a murder was done. And I am not talking about the Pushpa type of slitting the throat murder. It is only by the guns. That is frightening. I don't know whether you would feel how, but as a policeman, when Madam was running Indian Express or Mumbai Mirror and things like that, I used to know her. But then they used to be always first page news, 77th murder in 1 year. What is Mumbai Police doing? You know, are they sleeping? Are they in coma? That kind of a thing would come. That would make us absolutely life miserable. Yeah. Miserable life we had. But then, because of that, then only these solutions came.
It's interesting, from what you're saying, it's like death, taxes and underworld, they will always remain. I mean, their form may change, but you're saying that the underworld persists.
See, for example, 10 days before in the Times of India, there is a news item that one D.K. Rao, he was shot by the Mumbai police twice. But both times he is alive, even today he is alive. He was arrested for extortion in this Dharavi project. He is a consultant to the Dharavi project.
No, yes.
I am not telling anything, anything like that. It is a news item, Times of India. I can show you. Anyone wants to see after this discussion, I'll show you in my mobile phone. D.K. Rao, his name is Malesh. So he was shot twice. Yeah. Both times he survived. Others, of course, died. So he is the consultant to Dharavi. Now, what is this, ma'am? Is this mafia presence or not?
Yes, of course. D.K. Rao is a
There's one more guy also. I don't mind giving you the name. Called Shyam Kishore Garikapatti. His father used to be a customs senior officer. They lived in Hyderabad estate. And his boy studied in the convent, tip of the tongue English. He did so many murders. But he is a consultant to this project. Again, one more. So what we have done, Shruti, annihilated, she said, no? She said we have annihilated them. What we have done, we have given them a promotion of being leaders in the management pack.
One of the more interesting things in the book is the pen sketches that he has done of various gangsters. I had really forgotten some of them, like Subhash Singh Thakur and all are very interesting, and they've come back to Bombay. So, you know,
One minute, ma'am. Will you give me 1 minute?
Sure, of course. Please.
Hey, ma'am, Meenal has come up with a fantastic name. He's a 6 feet 3 or 4 inches tall and well built from Balia of Varanasi. And he will be handling always AK-47 and he wouldn't mind firing 500 bullets in a 10 by 10 room. And besides killing so many people, he did one fantastic operation. That is in 1992, one Shailesh Haldankar, for having killed the brother-in-law of Daud Ibrahim, he was admitted to JJ Hospital ward, JJ Hospital prisoners ward, where the prisoners are being treated. 6 policemen headed by one sub-inspector was present there. The sub-inspector, the leader of the police team, was also a Thakur from the same village. Do you see 2 plus 2, 4 or 2 plus 2, 6? It's a very win-win game thing. So these guys planned it beautifully. They borrowed a car from the Bhiwandi president called Surya Rao. And that time, 1992, the biggest size car was Contessa. And he, being the president of the municipal corporation, had a huge Lalbati, dome light was there. In that they came. And these 7 policemen were caught unawares. And then these people entered and fired 657 rounds fired in a 10 by 10 room. And Shailesh Haldankar, you know what would have happened to him? Incidentally, 2 policemen as a collateral damage were also shot dead. These people went away, they went to Delhi, drove the car, met a member of parliament, and then went to some Bonsi ashram somewhere else. All that has been done. So that's it, ma'am. That's the power of these people. So you mentioned about this guy.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
now I will round it up with one sentence. He has come as a tourist to neighboring Mira Bhayandar Road Commissionerate. They have called him there. He has come. He is cooling his heels. But this guy got a conviction of hanging in the year 2000 when I was joint CP crime. I mentioned in this. But as usual, the High Court converted it to a life sentence. He has chosen, please mark my words carefully, he has chosen to live only in the UP jails because it gives him the sanctity of protection. From there, he can operate the way he wants. So he has come as a tourist to Mira Road by the newspapers are all covering his handsome figure, fully grey or white, whatever you call. So that is the kind of story of these guys.
Mr. Sivanandhan, for the benefit of those of us who are not from the police force, give us a sense of how these gangs were organized. One of the interesting things that I found in the book that these gangs were fairly Catholic in the sense that there were Hindus, Muslims, there were Christians. So this is pre-93, which we'll discuss later. But give us a sense of how these gangs were organized, the Daud, Gavli, Rajan, the 4 or 5 main gangs.
Even today they are agnostic. Muslims are working in the allegedly Hindu gang. Like Chota Rajan is called the nationalistic, patriotic gangster. Do you have one like that? Do you all approve anything like that? He declares himself. When he killed Mirza Beg, the member of parliament, Nepal, he came on national TV and said that I am the Hindu patriotic Don. I have eliminated a Muslim. He was a member of parliament in Nepal. He did one operation honeypot and got him killed. And so, even in his gang today also, there are Muslim boys. So, that religion doesn't make. What the only God or only religion they recognize is money. Money in humongous amounts. That is the only thing which is binding factor for them. So, at any time, they always had all religious people working for them. But then loyalties are made like that. Loyalties to the leader, loyalties to the money, loyalties to the secret oath or maybe the kind of death which would await in case they slip or do a wrong thing. That is one. Second is, earlier when they, Karim Lala and Haji Mastan and Varadarajan Mudaliar, they coexisted very peacefully. So there will be a war council, which whenever there is an issue to be wrinkles to be ironed out, they will call, meet, sort it out and go away. Never bloodletting was happening. So only with this Daud Ibrahim coming, bloodletting started and hundreds of people were shot in Mumbai streets. Started with Samad Khan, the nephew of Karim Lala, and then ding-dong battle all over the place. Even in Gujarat it happened. Of course in Karnataka also the spill out used to happen, shootout and things like that. But then religion and this, they didn't see religion. The loyalty is totally of a different nature. So that is how, even today, you can count some of them working for them from multiple religions in the different kind of groups. But I would say, answer your question, Daud Ibrahim is the fountainhead of all these things. So all these guys like Amar Nayak or Arun Gavli, so-called the Shiv Sena patriarch, had organized these people to come up in life, the life of gangsters. They are the people who protected and brought them up. But then they had all worked one time on the other in the Daud Ibrahim. The training academy, the director of the academy is always Daud Ibrahim. So they trained all these people as interns and then they had their own. For example, Abu Salem. He was only a small boy doing random work for them, bringing chai and things like that. But then he's been convicted to the 1993 blast, where 257 people were killed. Then he graduated into killing people, forming his own team. This is how the loyalty. So sometimes they come, sometimes they go. For example, Subhash Singh Thakur would run his own thing, but then come back to Daud Ibrahim. Like that, they used to come in and go. This is like our own tomorrow's election, no? There is the strange bedfellows coming together, all parties coming together. Yesterday they were enemies, today they are friends, tomorrow what they will be, we don't know. Same thing. What is happening in the political? Too many Shiv Senas, too many NCPs, too many Congress, like that, these parties. It's like a mercury. You just drop all of them and put it back together, they become one piece. That is how they were working.
Yeah. Very interesting in the book, he says that Daud Ibrahim, having unleashed actual violence on the streets. He himself never killed people. He got people to kill. Is that correct?
In the beginning, he was involved. That is where that 1983-84 case happened. That is where he appeared in the court, and that is where the shootouts took place, and that is where he got the bail. And then somebody advised him, somebody very wise advised him to shift headquarters. He went to Dubai. From Dubai, he thought it's a safe haven, but that time between you and me, there was no extradition treaty between Dubai and India. That happened when I was in the joint director CBI. I went and negotiated with the commissioner of police there and the political people. Later, Mr. L.K. Advani went and signed the deal. Because of that, this Ibrahim Kaskar, brother of Dawood Ibrahim, has come back.
Yeah.
But then, that time when we are talking, when Dawood Ibrahim flew, there was no extradition treaty. So Dubai gave him the protection. Maybe he had some strong alliances with the people who are powerful there. And then that's how he thrived there.
Yeah. And there's also a very fascinating nugget in the book where he talks about how Chota Shakil, who lived, we don't know, in Lahore, got a Pakistani actor to impersonate his voice. And so nobody knew. So there was a time when Shakil was calling everybody and nobody knew whether it was Shakil or it was the actor. So it's all, the book is full of very interesting nuggets.
Hold on, man. Hold on. You know, my comment on that is, today we don't need a Pakistani actor, AI will do it for you.
Exactly.
When I say Dawood Ibrahim is dead, tomorrow you will hear his voice because AI will imitate his voice. Because we have voice samples of these guys. And AI, when it is used and he comes and says something very current and relevant, you know it is AI. And it will be hardly difficult for us to find out.
Yeah.
The incidentally other thing, tell me, for all these gangs, what other job they can do for better money than cyber crime? Ladies and gentlemen, in the year 2024, the profit for the cyber crime people in India is 22,282 crores. Why they should cut people or shoot people and all that? These guys can always overtake some tech guys and run this kind of thing. That is what precisely is happening when our boys are taken to Myanmar or Vietnam or Cambodia or Malaysia and run those cyber slave companies. Yeah. They are all mafia.
Yeah, absolutely.
You asked the first question, is mafia there today? This is mafia. And I'm telling you, since the cyber crime doesn't involve the criminals visiting the site, face to face, they never meet the victim and the accused ever meet. So that is a very nice way of running a gang today. Anybody is doing a startup, I'll be your consultant.
I want to...
Like, incidentally, what she asked me is, why did Dawood Ibrahim not appear? Why this Chota Shakil is alive or dead, we don't know. Why the voice is impersonated? Because of the advice. Somebody has given advice to him, saying that be away, don't get involved. For example, this Brahmastra is nothing but MCOCA. In that, in the last 10 years, the criminal should have committed 3 offences, charge sheeted, the court should have taken cognizance. That crime for which he will be involved in MCOCA, those 3 crimes which he committed in the last 10 years, should be the ones for which he would get 3 years of rigorous imprisonment. This guy has not committed any crime. Who? Dawood Ibrahim, from 1993 blast is the last time his name has been mentioned in the FIR. After that, no. So today, even if we bring him here, he will not be facing any MCOCA case. Because MCOCA will be very difficult for him to be applied. We can't rope him in the MCOCA because of the advice given by somebody.
You know, you mentioned 1993 blast. I mean, the whole world talks about 9/11, but Mumbai had its own 9/11 8 years prior to 9/11. I mean, it was an act of really audacious terrorism that we saw. I want you to talk a little bit about this deep wound and how did it change the Mumbai underworld and how did it change the security establishment's attitude towards the Mumbai underworld?
It's a fantastic question. Ladies and gentlemen, this mafia, as long as some businessman is being targeted and all, you can say, okay, I'm not involved. Okay, let him pay money or otherwise and all. What triggered my action was one innocent fellow called Narayan Das Kurup. Narayan Krishnadas Kurup of Bandup Madras Hotel was shot dead because they asked for 25 lakhs and they were poor people. So I have nothing to do with them because all the victims were connected to me because they are victims and they visited. I've seen the dead body. So that is when that is happening. This one is related to what she asked me is related to the bringing down of Babri Masjid on December 6, 1992. We had a riot, instant riot by the concerned political minority, religious community. Instantly, the police came and as per whatever the rules, they quelled it. They quelled it. After 15-20 days, as the movies have shown, I don't know whether you have seen any Mahesh Bhatt's movie called Zakham. So, like that, 15-20 days, the Shiv Sainiks and others had come on the road and they did the opposite. They attacked. Pinpointedly, they attacked. Whatever happened, happened. Sri Krishna Commission report will give you elaborate details. It's again half done because by the time Sri Krishna Commission report was getting ready, this Shiv Sena BJP government came, 1995. So that stage, the minority community of Mumbai felt there has to be an equalizer. नजर से नजर मिलाने का equalizer चाहिए. They went to Dubai, met Dawood Ibrahim, asked him do an equalizer. That is where this 93 blast came into being. Then he consented, he approached ISI of Pakistan and Pakistan, if you remember Zulfikar Ali Bhutto's promise of giving us 1,000 cuts, unkind cuts, that was one of them. They hurriedly from their production factory, a place called WAH, cantonment, gave thousands of hand grenades, then 2,000 AK-47 and 4,000 kilos of RDX. Packed, absolutely packed. It all says war cantonment. I collected it and gave it to all the evidence to the FBI deputy directors. 4 of them had come. They didn't do anything, like you rightly said. They said, Delhi dur hai. This terrorism is limited to Mumbai. What we have got to lose? They went back to USA, did nothing. Coming back to our story, so this was done in 92 December, end January and all that. That is the time the other second riot had taken place. Then Tiger Memon and his group was tasked to use this. 4,000 kilos of RDX, if it was used, none of this high-rise building will be standing today. That is the power of RDX. They in a hurry, I don't know what made them to hurry. 17th day of the Ramadan days, they had arranged this. 12th March 1993, they used only 300 kilos of RDX and half of them did not burst actually. Thank God. And what blasted was only half of that. What we lost was 257 people died, 857 Mumbaikars injured, around 900 were missing. Some of them could have been found later. And what went up in smoke is 100 crores worth of property. Like your Bombay Stock Exchange, Air India, your Sea Rock Hotel, where is it now? So this is what they had done. So what I am trying to tell you all this is, it is not that an individual, a businessman was shot, so apne ko kya hai, aisa nahi hai. It involved the society, it involved the people, it involved the national security also. So it's a very serious matter that we ignore the existence of a mafia don. Because what they do against the society together or in common can be involving you and me, and our security or our existence can be threatened by this. Now you ask me, what is the result of that? Parinam kya hai bol ke aapne pucha tha. The parinam is that we have got ghettos. All minority community people are coming together and living in certain areas, and there is a problem that there is a actor who is not getting a rental accommodation in a Hindu locality, and things like that keep on coming. But then the division at that time was complete, and even now we can't say the two communities have come together and they have a complete trust. We did have Mohalla committees, Mr. Ribeiro, Mr. Satish Sahani, Mr. Mendonca, and all tried to bring Mohalla committees and bring patch-up work and all that. But then the deep suspicion is there. As on today, all of you know very well that the TV channels by 8 o'clock discussion, if you see how much amount of spewing of venom against groups of communities is being dished out by national TV, that would make it permanent. The division between the suspicion between the two groups would make it permanent if you watch the TVs every day. That is where we stand.
Did the 93 blast also bring the underworld sort of overground in a manner of speaking? And
90
just sorry, just
no, to answer this, 93 thing showed the might of the underworld. As I told you, it is not that earlier, if you all remember, it was only swords, knives and things like that. Later, katta, 200 rupee worth katta used to be brought from Mongyur of Bihar. But whereas this one showed 4,000 kilos of RDX. And Sanjay Dutt, you remember, he had 5 AK-47s and 15 hand grenades at one given time. He had only 2 hands to operate. So imagine he said what? This is for family safety. I think he would have had so many hands and so many AK-47 and he would have gone in the field to killing people. That's what he thought. So like that, the division and thought process changed.
yeah. Given the fact that 93 March was such a seminal event in India's history, certainly Mumbai's, how is it that for the next 10 years, the Mumbai underworld was at its completely most brutal?
That is because
how did that happen?
That was the other thing of March blast was not the job of the underworld, even though they facilitated it. They facilitated it on behalf of a community for the revenge, for whatever equalizer, barobari or whatever you call that. But I don't know whether it happened that way or not. But the investigation was fantastic, and 100 people were convicted. Yusuf Memon was hung, and 2 lakhs of people attended his funeral. All that happened. But then, if you speak from 93 blasts to 98, 101 killings, how did they grow? They grew because of a simple reason that technology allowed them. Like you have people sitting in Malaysia, that yacht, your Chota Rajan was sitting comfortably in a yacht. And our friend Dawood Ibrahim was sitting in Karachi, Clifton area, defense colony. And through long distance calls, they could terrorize people and collect a humongous amount of money. Particularly, for example, your Bollywood was very susceptible. One phone call. For example, today Lawrence Bishnoi having attacked Salman Khan and Disha Patni in Bareilly, one phone call, people will run, scamper to give him money, enough and more. So that is what happened. So in that getting emboldened, they went on throwing the net far and wide. So every day thousands of people used to be called. And whoever was frightened would pay money, and money in very huge amounts. The other point is, in October 1997, one guy called Javed Fauda means, buck teeth boy, he was shot, dead. Vasant Doble is one of those famous inspectors, assistant commissioner of police later. Abu Azmi, you know Abu Azmi. I don't have to introduce Abu Azmi to you people. He is very known in whichever way it is. He filed a petition, PIL, in the Mumbai court that this is a false encounter, murder. The Mumbai High Court gave this inquiry to a district principal sessions judge called Mr. A.S. Aguiar, Aguiar. Later he became a High Court judge also. He investigated and said that is a fake encounter. And then he also said 95 other cases were also fake encounters. So that means 96 murder cases were to be registered against our heroes called the encounter specialists. Most of you know them by name. So then this froze the Mumbai police, and that is the time the gangsters found a scope, a gap, a vacuum where they could go in for the kill. That is how the peak of 101 took place in the year 98. Because until this case was pending, that is a Damocles sword hanging over their head, Mumbai police was frozen and they wouldn't do anything about it.
The very interesting thing he said that post 93, the gang leaders, except for I think Arun Gavli, they all fled India. So the Mumbai underworld became international. So they were in Cambodia, in Bangkok, in Dubai, in Pakistan, and one of the very interesting points in the book, he draws a really vivid picture of Daud's attack on Chota Rajan in Bangkok. And it was a very audacious attack in which Chota Rajan, of course, survived. Please tell the audience a little bit about that.
Yeah, normally these people are limited to the gully, the operation in the gully. And that is what we expected the olden time gangsters to operate. But whereas the Mumbai ones, they flew and they flew for expanding their multinational corporation attitude. So they ran business houses also there. Sitting in Dubai, his brother Anis and Noora and various others ran legitimate business. And they earn money. Allegedly, Dawood Ibrahim is having $12 billion in his business house now, as on today. None of us would have ever imagined that much money. And then in the narcotics, he is supposed to be the most dreaded don declared by the United Nations body related to narcotics prevention. So with that, these people became international, not only doing the regular legitimate business, also in the mafia activities. So Pillu Khan was stabbed multiple times in Bangkok. And then Bharat Nepali was killed there. And then Sharat Shetty was shot in Dubai. And then so many others were killed in foreign countries. The pinnacle is when Chota Rajan flew. And since they had that enmity between them, they tracked him in Australia and they tracked him to Bangkok, where Rohit Verma, who had killed East West Airlines MD called Taqiyuddin Wahid, was staying under a pseudonym of Michael D'Souza. He was running a jewelry shop. He had hired a very sophisticated apartment also. There, when he was living, Rajan came to live there for a short while, 1 week maximum. But Chota Rajan's intelligence agency was so effective, unlike the other intelligence agencies. They tracked him and they assembled a team. Ladies and gentlemen, the team consists of Indians and various others.
Pakistanis and Nepali
they purchased peace with the Bangkok police. I'm telling with the official authority of my knowledge, because I sent police force to talk to Chota Rajan and bring him here. I was supposed to go as per the movie, Ram Gopal's Verma movie, but I didn't go. So, but somebody else like me went and got him released. He went away. So that is the other part of the story. There, I'm talking about the world becoming a theater of war. There, 5-6 people dressed well, took a bouquet of flowers and a cake, went to the door of Rohit Verma and rang the bell. It was the birthday of Chota Rajan. So when Rohit Verma saw through the peephole, he saw Bailog with the flowers and cake. He thought they have come to greet his leader, Chota Rajan. He opened the door. They fired 30-40 bullets and he took everything in his body and died on the spot, instantaneous. Chota Rajan got 2-3 bullets and then he jumped out of the window in a garbage dump and then people saved him. He went away to that hospital and from there, after some time, after about 10-20 days, allegedly he used mountaineering equipment to climb down from the 7th floor and vanished. Official agencies have helped him. That's a different story. But then he went away, and that is where you asked me a question. It is a movie kind of a thrilling kind of a thing. Between you and me, the guys involved were all were assembled from various parts. There is a guy called Munna Zingada. He is from our area and he participated, and for the last 20 years he was in Bangkok, ladies and gentlemen, because they held him there saying that he is a Pakistani passport holder. Believe me that I went as part of an official team after my retirement to negotiate with the government to see that this Munna Zingada is brought to our country. the Pakistani Prime Minister's level interference and influence, let us say, influence worked there. And that guy last year has been repatriated to Pakistan. Can you believe that? Munna Zingada is in Pakistan. So is our Abu Salam with a name called Arsalan. He's got a passport.
Not Abu Salam.
Abu Salam also had a passport.
Oh, at
Abu
that.
Salam also had a passport. Others also had passport. In fact, Dawood Ibrahim had multiple passports. I'm talking about Munna Zingada now. He had a Pakistani passport. They have proved over. When was the attack? Gentlemen, it was September 2000. Today we are in 2025. In 2024, in spite of our efforts, I had gone with senior officials of the government of India to represent and talk, negotiate and all that. And even their team, the high officials of the Thailand government also had come to Delhi. I participated in the discussions. Munna Zingada succeeded by influencing and going back to Pakistan.
So I want to ask.
That should answer your question.
Yeah.
How powerful they are, how they are influencing the governments.
But how is it that we were so powerless?
We are very powerful. We are the Vishwa Guru. So we are very powerful. We are very powerful. We are very powerful. I can only say, okay, our government did not go down to that level to go to interfere in this thing and go down to last bit criminal level. I mean, that is a benign answer we can say. We are powerful. We are powerful. But in Munna Zingada's case, didn't work. The other way where we are not powerful as the people would expect is eliminating Dawood Ibrahim. You know, where a Venezuelan president could be arrested and handcuffed and brought, including his wife. What crime did she do? So if that they could do, people ask me questions as to why the same thing was not done to Dawood Ibrahim. Maybe. We followed rule of law. Now I'm getting answer for you. So like as Ajmal Kasab was given the rule of law treatment for 4.5 years and at last he was hung without, we showed the rule of law and we are adhering to the constitution. Maybe because of that,
Sure.
we follow the rule of law system. We couldn't influence the Thailand government.
I wanted to ask you a question which a lot of journalists have speculated about. Does or did India have a special relationship with Chota Rajan?
No, India didn't have any special relationship. Some highly placed official had a special relationship. But the point is it's not India. Indira is India, but not this official. So my point is simple, that they had a scheme. All of you know, maybe the Dhurandhar movie, whether it covers or not, I'm yet to see Dhurandhar movie. I'm waiting for.
I was going to ask you a question about that. But yes.
So he had said that let us do an operation, go and stage an attack against this fellow in the foreign country. So in that, allegedly, Chota Rajan promised to help. That is the special relationship. Otherwise, no. It's benign special relationship.
And officially it is known also. He has come to Bali, surrendered, and then he has gone to Tihar jail. He is being medically and otherwise taken care of. This is the special relationships he is talking about.
So, like the March 1993 blasts, the 26/11 Mumbai terror attack, the hijacking of IC-184 was also a very key terror, sort of a wound on India in that sense. There is a very little known Mumbai angle to that story which you shine a light on in the book. So basically he talks about that while the government was negotiating with the hijackers in Kandahar, there was parallelly something very interesting happening in Mumbai when Hemant Karkare came to Mr. Sivanandhan's office, and I will let Mr. Sivanandhan narrate the rest of the story.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is a chapter in this book. When we detected this case in 99 December, it was a fantastic operation. We never went to town because of the safety of the 360 people were involved in that. Whatever the government did, 3 of those people were taken there in a special aircraft, and our own external affairs minister, Mr. Jaswant Singh, accompanied them and all that. So whatever it is that's a part of the Durandar movie, I suppose. But what happened here was, when the hijacking had taken place, when they were there in that balaclava cap, where the identity of the people are not known, R&AW officer, that is Hemant Karkare, you know, he is a Shaheed Hemant Karkare now. He's a very good friend of mine, 6 years junior to me. We had a fantastic relationship. He came to my office and said, sir, I got only a mobile number which is connecting with Kandahar. Directly he is talking to Kandahar, the people there. So now he has to be tracked and found out. You know, this 1998-99, there was no tracking equipment and there is no facility. The technology had not grown that much. Mobile itself had come in 95, 96, 97. So we all had that huge equipment, foldable equipment and things like that. So with that, going into Mumbai, the gullies of Mumbai, Jogeshwari and Andheri East, Andheri West and all that was absolutely difficult, almost impossible. But the chapter very vividly tells you how we heard once this boy was speaking about on the phone to Kandahar, we heard the azan and also a cow shed where the cows making noise and things like that we could locate. Luck hit us on the second day or so, where this guy demanded money for expenses and the other person there said, okay, so-and-so hotel in Bindi Bazaar area, go there, meet so-and-so and with description and all, you will get money. So we laid a trap there. And obviously we didn't pick up this boy or that boy because we had to go and solve a major issue. Picking up one fellow is botching up the whole operation. So we followed him all the way there. It is called housing in intelligence technology. It is called housing. Housing a fellow, we housed him. And then we arranged for simultaneous raid in multiple places. I went personally in Bashir Bagh, ladies, after he's been arrested. His name is Abdul Latif. Latif is the name of the man who was connecting, asking for money, got the money and all that. He had a mobile with which he was talking to Kandahar people. Now tell me, the other part I'll come later. What did he do? What he did was, before the hijacking of IC-814, 5 of those hijackers had come here, they stayed here and they got Indian passports with Hindu names. Whatever in the Netflix which became controversial, the very same names they had used here, and then Gopal Sharma and things like that. They received Indian passports with Hindu names, with original photographs. As bad as our security system is, as this brother of Saeed got 2 passports with the gap of 1 week. His name is Attar, Ibrahim Attar. Captain is his title. He himself called captain. He got 2 passports by paying a little bit of money. 7 Islands is the name of the travel agency in Central Railway station ke baaju mein hai. They had organized it. Look at the national security. Look at the national, and look at the cheap corruption. How much money they would have paid for passport for verification? Max 500 rupees that time. For 500 rupees we gave the passports to them. All of them had it, and that is the revelation we made. Okay, now the next part. Once we housed and arrested Abdul Latif, we raided Bashir Bagh, and there was so much ammunition, arms of AK-47 arms ammunition, even a TNT shell which can penetrate 12-inch steel, and also map of Matoshri where Bala Sahib Thackeray was living. I don't know what was the design and all that, but then we arrested them. One more raid in Jogeshwari yielded us a Nepali couple, $10,000 and few Glock pistols, hand grenades and all in their attic, and also one more in Malad. 3 Pakistanis ran away. They were not available because once they heard, they got wind of what was happening, they vanished. So that is the story. We didn't reveal that time because of the national security and the security of those people and all. वो ऐसा ही रह गया है. Only when the Netflix came, I published in the Indian Express as recent as 2025. The book covers that. Kindly, you can pick up a copy and read. Mumbai Police. Of course, this case was taken over, to round up the story, taken over by CBI, and the fellows have been taken to the Punjab Haryana High Court. They have been convicted there.
Yeah. Since Dhurandhar is the flavor of the season, it talks about the ISI, the film says that the ISI allegedly used the Karachi underworld to wreak terror on India.
True.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask you, to your knowledge, is that true? Second part of my
It's
question.
true.
Second part of my question is that Dawood, Shakil, this Tiger Memon and all, they are now presumably in their 70s, early to late 70s. Are they still a force?
Dawood Ibrahim precisely was born in 1955. So he is 70, 71. Allegedly, he had lung cancer. But unfortunately, we still worship him and treat him like God on earth and see the multi-million hits when anybody talks about Dawood Ibrahim in the podcasts and things like that. Why is he commanding so much respect? I don't know. But then, whenever our TV channels ran short of stories, they will say he is dead. 3 days they will be going to towns, dead, dead, dead. I called this house, somebody picked up, and there will be some servant there. But then they will talk about it. Every year after year, this has been happening. Some people say that he is lung cancer. I have no proof, no authentic evidence about it. Whether they are alive, whether some Pakistani actor is lending his voice to speak once in a way, all these things are folklore. But I want to say our own journalists and various others are working on behalf of them to keep the aura alive, saying that he is an invincible person, he could come and go. And even for Chota Rajan, they would say when he spends that crores of rupees, Sayadri Kreda Mandal is the name in Chembur, he would come in a disguise and then he will do puja and go away. Do you think it is true? No, not at all. But then they spread the stories. I remember having read in a leading newspaper that Dawood Ibrahim, having done a facial change, plastic surgery, lives in an unknown cave in Bora Bora in Afghanistan. Now tell me, this front page story in one of the top newspapers from Mumbai, who could go and verify in Bora Bora caves that he is
Maybe
living
Dawood
there?
became Osama. We never know with plastic surgery. No,
So this is how the magical power of them is kept alive for payment, nothing else. It's as good as simple thing. They are working as advertising agencies for.
No, the point of my question was that in your knowledge or understanding, are these guys still a force that we should be worried about?
Yes, you have to worry about them because we don't know who helped and aided assistance locally in 2611. That was never investigated. So that is one. So you should worry. And they are a force to reckon with. Worry. Political infiltration by them is a matter of worry for you. And also, anytime can this kind of a thing be reenacted? Yes, it's possible. Consequences can be like we are ready. Our energy is ready. Force one is ready and all that. But consequences apart. If they want to leave a message, they can do it. And we are vulnerable. So that kind of a thing, they are a force there. But the virulence, the violence met by the businessmen in the community was reduced to zero. That's it. But national security implication, yes, they are a force to reckon with.
So, the book is called The Brahmastra Unleashed, and what he's been saying that while the underworld may have morphed into may have got other faces, may have morphed, but the kind of underworld that we saw in Mumbai in the 80s and the 90s especially, that underworld has receded. The violence has, as we all know, has receded. And there were two factors, one slightly controversial and one very creative. The controversial bit was from the media side. The controversial bit were the encounter killings. They did bypass maybe the long legal process. It did create an encounter force, which itself became controversial. I know I'm speaking to a group where there are lots of cops present, but it did create some controversy. The creative way of dealing with the underworld, which Mr. Sivanandhan talks about in the book, was the promulgation of the MCOCA, the Maharashtra Control of Organized Crime Act, which basically for the first time treated criminals as the underworld as a business activity. Is that correct? And it hit at their business activities. So please, can you talk a little bit about both these aspects and how they kind of jointly worked in subduing the underworld as we had known it?
First is this encounter which you mentioned, which is journalists will call it one way, police would call it, you all will call it something. All these encounter specialists were the heroes, the spies of the day, and even the journalists only brought them to limelight and gave them out of the ordinary respect and things like that. Actually, the book and the whole, the sum and substance of the book is, encounters also have become zero from 2002 to now. Encounter has been made redundant. Is that good news for you, ma'am?
Absolutely.
Because encounter is no solution is the theme of the book. The book says it is the majesty of law and how it was implemented. Make a law. For example, Tada and Pota have been repealed because of misuse. I hope all of you know that. There are lawyers also, no? There are two top class lawyers I met, Kotaris. So, absolute brutal way it was misused. To the last count, maybe 96,000 people were arrested under Tada, misuse, and targeting various communities and things like that. Whereas MCOCA is absolutely the opposite. From 1999, it has been taken to Supreme Court, laundry. It has been laundered multiple times, but it has withstood the scrutiny of law. It stayed back. And it gives the police all the extraordinary powers which the Tada and Pota has also been repealed. So against the backdrop of all these misused laws, where multiple thousands of people were arrested, here is only a handful of people, a dozen cases and maybe 100 or 200 criminals in a year because of multiple checks in the law. Additional commissioner has to give sanction to apply this thing, then investigation, then additional DG or commissioner has to give sanction to prosecute. Like that, lot of filtering. Arresting a fellow unless he has committed 3 crimes in the last 10 years, all that was there. So it's very difficult for anybody to be roped in this kind of a case. So because of that, we sustain. Encounter, I want to say, it was under a law of section 100 of the Indian Penal Code, right of private defense. Ladies and gentlemen, you can also exercise right of private defense. If you have the guts to retaliate under the law, 100 section 100 of the Indian Penal Code, you are welcome. The law says anybody can do that. Police also did that. Right, wrong, correct, all that is later. But I want to claim that because of our activity and because of what the book has said, encounter has been made redundant, unnecessary, and it is a closed chapter. That should be a good news for the human rights people or journalists and others. That is where I extol the virtues of the law called MCOCA, which has not been misused. The numbers are very, very. Please check in your perplexity or what is that called? AI tool?
Grok.
Grok, perplexity or whatever it is, gives you complete details about all these things.
In fact, MCOCA, he points out, it's called the Maharashtra Maharashtra Control of Organized Crime Act. But it has been applied, it's being applied in Delhi. So even though it's the Maharashtra law, it's been such a good law that it's been applied in Delhi and Madhya Pradesh. I think are the two.
Also, Andhra Pradesh,
also Andhra Pradesh,
and various places they have borrowed lock, stock, and barrel. Delhi is not. I mean, Mocha should become Doka in Delhi, but they said no,
धोखा नहीं देना चाहिए मौका रखा है उन्होंने. So that is the lighter side of law.
My last question before we show the session open is that, India has a unique history of this alphabet soups, Pota, Tada, Makoka. Now we have UAPA. Now I know it has nothing to do with the underworld, but I just want to know that is legislating more and more draconian laws, which now we have come to a point where the burden of proof is instead of the agencies or the prosecutor is on the defendant. Is that the way to go in
You know, I want to tell the audience, since you have been also very attentive, this POTA and TADA were targeting only the terrorist activities. MCOCA is not about terrorism. Terrorism is a loose tale. You know, the whole thing is against organized crime. I was in the group which made this law. Pratibha Omarji was the law secretary. Mr. Puri, one of our Director General of Police, is no more. And I was there in that. Mr. Mendonca, R.H. Mendonca, Commissioner. We were all involved in making. The whole law, 99.5%, was only aimed at organized crime. Lastly, while Jata somebody added terrorism. And so this 2006 railway bomb blast was treated under this. So many now terrorism cases are coming under this. But the difference between TADA, POTA and MCOCA is those two were absolutely against terrorism. This is against organized crime. But now MCOCA is also being used against terrorism. But that is now they have amended that, where even narcotic powder and various other things also will come under. That is the present CM has made an amendment and added that also to this. But in its original form, this had nothing to do with terrorism. Of course, that word to include Naxal activities was added in the last minute. Vividly, I remember that. This law was exclusively to deal with organized crime and the mafia. It delivered its result. Now we are extending it to terrorism also. UAPA and all, you said draconian law. I fully agree it is draconian law. And you asked me, do the police want more and more such laws? The answer is no. Jitna hai, bahut ho gaya hai. Even if they use this kind of law in a proper way, don't get castigated by the court for violation and for misuse. If that much they do, it is more than enough. UAPA and all that is very, very difficult laws to come out of bail.
Is there, no, on a very serious note, is there a sort of a lack of trust between judiciary, police, intelligence agencies? Is that an issue that we are coming up with more and more draconian laws?
No, not at all. The lack of trust is absolutely not true at all. There is plenty of trust between all these agencies, and they work together in tandem. They work. What is the main thing is that long delay in trial and getting acquitted after 20 years. Example is this Malegaon, where this lady MP Pragya Thakur was involved. After 20 years for acquitting. My absolute emphatic mic laying is acquit them in 1 year, 2 years. Mocha, I'm sorry to use this word mocha, MCOCA was meant for that. This Bilind Vaidya case, about which I have written a chapter in that. Within 1 year of the commission of the offence, all 10 of them got hanging. It was not done. They were converted into life sentence later. And a collective fine of 1 crore 5 lakhs. If all cases are going to be dealt with like that, madam, we don't need any draconian law at all. I'm telling you openly, it is being recorded, that as a policeman, I don't want every case to be convicted. But don't drag us for 20 years and give conviction or acquittal. This Bombay train blast, 2000 case, 200 people died, 400 people were injured, 11 first-class carriages were blown with this pressure cooker bombs. Got acquitted. My point is, do the same acquittal in a year or two. Why drag it for 20 years? We don't know whether they have done or they have not done. If they have not done, then 20 years of jail. Then if they have done, then why are you acquitting them now? So this is true of all cases, ladies and gentlemen. The main problem is not lack of trust, but we have got a fantastic equation with the judiciary. All that is fine. But then, what is the bearing of our society is a long. Ladies and gentlemen, please believe when I say that if you don't register any case today onwards, if you don't register a single case from today onwards, for the backlog removal, it will take 300 years from now. That is the amount of pendency we have in the sessions courts, high courts and Supreme Court. Believe me, that is the level of pendency. If that fast tracking can be done, all cases, now rapes, immediately fast track courts, then this fast track court. I am saying all serious cases should be sessions triable. Serious case means what? Definition is sessions triable cases are serious cases. If they are acquitted also in 1 year, repeatedly I am telling you, I will be very, very happy because justice is done. The investigating officer is there. Today, 20 years later, when it comes for trial, the investigating officer is dead and gone. The supervisory officer is who is accountable today? I hope I'm asking pertinent question. Who is accountable when Malagaon case is acquitted? For example, Karkare was celebrated or accused, pressurized, or whatever it is, for having detected that case. He is no more there. When this acquittal came, he wasn't there. It's a sad story. It's a sad story. So my answer to you is perfect coordination is there. Only thing is, I don't know why cases are getting dragged. For example, your Salman Khan drove the car or not? Who drove the car? Please tell me. I'll give you a reward of 10 lakhs of rupees now. Nobody drove the car. It's a Tesla that time. Driverless cars. Tesla car was he was sitting in there and the car drove itself. That is the kind of, how many years do you think that case took? 18 to 20 years it took for acquittal. Is it a strategy by the defending lawyers? I don't know. But ultimate result is got acquitted.
It's been so fantastic. There's so many things in the book which we haven't spoken about, but I would request if anyone has questions, please, Mr. Sivanandhan is not only eloquent, he's witty and has a storehouse of many other stories. So please, if anyone has questions, please do.
Firstly, I'd like to thank you, sir, for taking out the time to come and into this. So, since now, when this started from how comms are shown in movies and so on and so forth, so I had a couple of persons in a similar way. So, sir, you mentioned that some instances is not real, but
That's in the movies. Movies.
Okay, yeah. So, couple of instances come to mind. So, if you're seeing the movie Black Friday, there was an instance on where this group of women from Dongri had signed broken ragdolls go down. So, is that also something with folklorists?
Sorry to interrupt. These are all folklore. There is no evidence. And all said and done, I haven't seen that Black Friday because see, many of these things I don't see because I've gone through the same thing. Black Friday, I was there. So why go and see the movie and then get... I knew the details, minute details. But all those things are, when people say that, well, some journalist adds all these things, he is not held accountable. Tell me which post office crew, who take it there, who gave it, who took the acknowledgement. All the questions are not asked. But these are all added to add flavor to the story. I hope you understand. No, there was no need for any bangles to be sent to him. People went and met him. Which hotel, where, what date is there, all details are there. He was persuaded to do that. And he agreed to do. And he asked ISI. They sent 4,000 kilos of RDX. So bangle ka jarurat nahi tha. But then bangle story comes in the movie because to add flavor to the story, Or I don't know whether it is to justify his dastardly act. What he did is unpardonable. I hope all of you agree with me. Absolutely. For that, he deserves the strongest possible punishment, whatever it is. But then, this guy to guys who movie makers or story writers, book writers, and this kind of things. Do we ever ask that guy who wrote those books, any evidence for these things? No. That's it. So Ram Gopal Verma's company, if you all say, I don't know how many of you have seen, whoever has seen, it's a fictional story actually. the person who plays my role is sent to Bangkok or wherever it is. He discusses with him, brings him here. He is put in a lockup cell. Allegedly, the Home Minister goes to meet him. And how he goes? He goes along with the bodyguard with the machine gun. And the Chota Rajan character uses that machine gun to kill the Home Minister. Did it happen? Not at all. I wish it had happened. I wish it had happened. It did happen. So the movie stories are all like that. I hope I have given you a satisfactory answer.
This one good question more. So there have been instances in the past where like pieces of art have been like not exactly banned, but like the movie Black Friday wasn't allowed to be released because the case was and in a similar way we have seen like now it has come to light that public prosecutor Nikam had like somewhat very fabricated things about biryani being sadlu basab. So to these things which sought to move public opinion really matter, and so that be the case, like why should it like just take into account public opinion when it's totally about the facts and
You know, this question doesn't deserve an answer. I'll treat it as a remark and leave it at that. I don't know how this biryani business came and why Nikam. He withdrew this thing later on publicly in the newspaper. It came in print saying that he told this biryani was not given and all. See, to tell you I was a commissioner of police when he was in jail. No biryani, no nothing and all. He himself said, I said it, I don't know for whatever reason. That's not the role of a public prosecutor to come to the public and say, Kasam was fed biryani or whatever it is. That's not his role. I don't know why. He had this political ambition of becoming a member of parliament perhaps. Now he has become one. I hope hereafter he will not tell such kind of things. I want to tell all of you that this prison manual is written by the British. All of you agree with me? If the British fellow was arrested, the manual says any foreigner in the jail will be given special diet. Whatever is mentioned there is given today also. The prison manual has not been revised multiple times. Biryani is definitely not mentioned in the prison manual. Biryani was not given. Extraordinary amount of security was given. 47 crores bill came from ITBP. I was the commissioner of police who wrote to them, brought them, paid the bill and things like that. That is because if he is killed by Pakistan by any intervention, we will have no basic evidence to prove that Pakistanis did that. The biryani business is bunk up, but our Ujjwal Nikam himself said that he told this as I don't know for what. He said it's wrong. He said what he told was a lie. Okay? But then this makes your life very interesting, spicy, right? No? Everywhere I go, biryani was given. I am telling you, British wrote the manual to favor themselves that in case any foreigner is arrested, he will get a special diet. It's the truth. You can all download the prison manual and read it also. Even today, it is there. Some special diet is given to the foreigners. But then, he is also a foreigner, right? But biryani is never mentioned anywhere. I don't know which British fellow will ask for biryani sitting in the jail. But then, Pakistani ke liye wo bola tha. Anyway, Ujjwal Nikam has become member of parliament.
Anybody else? Yes.
Thank you for this evening. I had a real pleasure listening to you. I just have one question. There's such a sense of fearlessness to you and your story. So, what's the key to that?
You know, it's a very cliched kind of answer only I can give. This kind of opportunity comes once in a lifetime. Otherwise, I'll tell you, this silsila of gangsters ruling the Mumbai and the country has started from 1920 and then goes on and on and on until 2001, 2002. So somebody has to take the bull by the horn and then say that this is put a full stop to that. So that opportunity came because it was peaking and that opportunity Nobody from the political side, neither CM Manohar Joshi or Deputy CM Gopinath Munde ever told me that you have been brought here to eliminate this. No, it happened. When things happen in front of you, when blood is flowing on the marble floors of business establishments, you cannot sit and twiddle your thumb and say that, ye, bas ki baat nahi hai. Arey, okay, I am a coward, I am very darpok hai, all that. But then you are wearing that mantle, that job is given to you. I am telling all of you, unlike Ujjwal Nikam, I am telling you the truth. Nobody ever told me kya karna, kya nahi karna. It comes from within. And when you start telling the business people that you go, they are getting calls. Lot of people will get calls when they are sitting in front of me, saying that, sir, देखो, आपके सामने बैठे छोटा राजन का फोन आ रहा है. I said, यार उसको क्या मालूम तुम मेरे सामने बैठा है? वो कॉल करता है, करने दो. When I told them that you go home, we will take care of it, nothing will happen to you, I can't be going around with that scale security. वो लोग सोचेंगे, all business people here, lot of business people are there. They will think, अरे तुम खुद के लिए Z scale लेके घूम रहा है, हमें बोल रहा है तुम जाके रहो, मैं protection करूंगा. That is where you have to walk the talk. So this fearlessness comes not out of any virtue. It is a necessity to send a message of confidence to the people that, I am also. The last is the philosophy. You die only once. How many thousand times can you die out of fear or fright? Like when I go to a movie during those times or even now, I'm sitting in a row, पीछे से anybody can blow your head, no? So अभी movie देखना है कि पीछे देख के बैठना है? है ना? Movie is running here or there. So you sit and enjoy. ना जो बना है होता है, देखा जाएगा. You die only once. It is not bravery. It is some foolhardiness. But then, unless you have that as a leader, what kind of a message am I sending to the police force or to those business people who have come to me in hundreds, thousands? I'm telling you, the entire builders got the threat, and they all were paying at that point of time. Any big name you tell me, I'll tell you who was threatening and what amount they were paying. But then we had to call from 1998, 1999, some Carvalho or some such name is the last guy who was killed in 1999. After that, no builder has been. Om Prakash Kukreja, then Vallabh Thakkar, Natwarlal Shah, Pradeep Jain, like that all the names come. It came to an end from 1989 onwards. So this threat is imaginary. How many people choked, like George Bush in his Oval Office, when he was eating pretzel, he got choked and he fell down. For another day, he was lying there on the floor. Nobody entered the office to check whether he is all right or not. So like that, it can happen. I hope I've given you a satisfactory answer. Having worn the uniform and taken the responsibility of eliminating the mafia and bringing peace and security, I couldn't have shown fear. I used to go for a morning walk every day. Newspaper you will cover. Full, nice, handsome pictures they used to print. But then they were informing the youngsters that here is a joint CP walking all alone at 6:15 in the morning. But then part of life only, no? I used to tell them, make the picture very handsome looking thing. Acha dikhna chahiye next day. But you ask me, is it foolhardy thing or it is bravery? But taste of the pudding is in the eating. It did result in something good. Once in a lifetime opportunity, I'm telling again, everyone has not done this.
Yeah.
I hope you agree, Ba.
Absolutely.
You have seen so many commissioners, so many joint commissioners. Once in a lifetime, seize it by the collar and make it as an opportunity and leave a legacy behind. Even today, I want to tell you, when you asked me whether mafia exists, that time I didn't remember. 10 days before, one guy in Ahmednagar, Srirampur, he was responsible or he was arrested for a chain blast in Pune in 2008 or so. Jangli Maharaj Road, McDonald's ke samne, in a cycle there was a bomb. He didn't explode. He came, within 10 days, came out of a prayer house and two motorcycle bound unknown people came, shot him point blank, dead. obviously is a Muslim community man. And so this is the same. Whatever I have described is the same thing. Chota Rajan shots 8 of the people who were involved in the 1993 bomb blast here in Mumbai. Because he was a patriotic don. He was telling, court is not giving justice, I am giving justice by giving. So what I am trying to tell is, this story which I have given is not a thing of the past. We have not put the last nail in the coffin of the mafia gangs. They are there. This case is lying undetected. In Punjab, in the last 1 month, 10 cases of shootouts have happened. That Moosewala and various other things you see. Just now also, 2 days before in Pakistan, not Pakistan, Punjab, somebody was shot dead. So it's happening in the country. What we are celebrating is the protection given to the business people in Mumbai by the shootouts and extortion. No extortion calls have come. Marriages take place, houses are coming, cars are purchased. But is the mafia not there? It is there very much. In Srirampur or Ahmednagar, the guy has been shot dead.
In fact, in the book, you say one very interesting thing, that they have very long memories. Like, like they will come back for you many years later, like, which is what Dawood did when, I think his brother was killed. The JJ shootout. The JJ shootout happened because one of Dawood's close associates was killed.
No, Dawood's brother-in-law. Brother-in-law was killed.
Yeah.
That is done by Arun Dowli gang. And to take revenge, they had sent the team. And this guy was shot dead.
Yeah.
His name is Shailesh Haldankar. 2 of my policemen also were shot dead. Long memory is there because they had to prove supremacy and they have to do that. Yeah. But then I must also tell you, the mafia in the world, all over Chicago or India or Mumbai or Karachi, they will never take on a policeman. They also never attack the wives and children of the other gangsters belonging to other. But the other gang members, the minute his head is visible, they will shoot, blow the head to pieces. This is all rules of the game. Once I remember one guy was shot in that, one Chaudhary was shot in Chowpatty. The bullet went and hit a stone, came back and hit the hitman in his thigh. It's called ricochet. When the bullet hits a hard upset, it can fly anywhere and come and hit him. That group which shot that other fellow was Amar Nayak's gang. Now, when this word was spread to Amar Nayak on phone that one of our hitmen got by bullet hit, and the bullet is there embedded and then all that, Amar Nayak, at the cost of losing his life, because anybody who seen him outside would shoot him dead, he comes on a motorcycle. On the way, he went to a pharmacy, bought tetanus injection, syringe and medicine and all that. He administered into that hitman personally. When we got him and interrogated him, he told me, sir, what a great leader I have. He was called Ravan. Amar Nayak was called Ravan. So he says, sir, my boss came risking his life and personally administered this antidote. So they are willing to give their lives to such kind of leaders. Fearlessness. This is what is fearlessness. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yes, sir. Two of you nearby. Okay. Whoever has got the mic. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Srinivas, sir. And for that. So the question is that apart of this Mumbai mafia and terrorism war, for me personally, the most fear thing is that is Indian judiciary system. First of all, some opinions are like campus that so many vacations are be provided to the others. So we have honestly these vacations different schools and colleges already provide those. So,
see, listen to me 1 minute. My request is, let us not go into discuss other things because it will be all not in good taste.
Yeah.
Judiciary, it will not amount to contempt of court. Definitely not. We can all snipe at those people, but it will be not worth discussing about. chutti and all that. But it's a British system. They had to go by the ship to London and come back. So they took their annual holiday. Even today, they are having the same holiday. Let us not go to them. You tell me about the police and the gangsters. I'll give you any answer you want.
No,
You see, I'm telling, we should not discuss about somebody who is not in this room. Is that a fair rule? I hope all of you agree. Yes. Okay. Go ahead, sir.
no. We do expect that this judicial system, should be like a 24/7 support system, like we have with the Shosima. So I'm asking that what's your personal take on this? That there's so much viewpoints are going on that let's keep this aside when it comes to the conversion of death sentence into life imprisonment. So there's other law.
Just can I request you to just please ask the question?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
So here's a Bollywood jingle or that type. So yeah. So I expect what's your percentage from your
I got what is in your mind. I got it. Are you a lawyer?
No.
You're not a lawyer. Okay. See, sit down, please sit down. Thank you for asking this question. This is related to judicial delays. All of you know lawyers are here, judges are not there, unfortunately. But then more number of courts, more number of expenditure, more number of these things. I want to tell you, the police also, judges also, there's a lot of vacancy. Supreme Court never had a full attendance anytime. Mumbai Court also. It is true that a lot of vacancies, I don't know the percentage. But as far as the police is concerned, I want to tell you, all over the country, on an average, 22% of the number of posts are vacant. Because the government doesn't want to spend full amount of money. Budgetary savings karna hai, to vacancy rakho. It is treated like any other department, and 22% of Mumbai Police or Maharashtra Police jobs are vacant. So if you are going on that basis, this kind of delay and all will happen. Tariq pe tariq and all that, it is a strategy of the defending lawyer in high-profile cases. So who do you blame? You blame the advocates, or you blame the judge, you blame the police, who do you blame? So let us not go into that area at all. Today's subject is only about MCOCA and the Brahmastra. So I mentioned earlier, expecting your question, that I am of the view that whether conviction or acquittal, it should be done as fast as possible. For that, whatever the cost government has to pay, it has to be ready. But unfortunately, that is not happening. So that is the answer for your question. Yo, sir, you first. Ajay, you got the mic. Who got the mic as a...
discussion of the compensating setbacks receded in Mumbai.
Receded like zero.
Zero.
Ah.
Is the same strategy being deployed in UP? I see locally. Yes. Uttar Pradesh had lots of ground rallies for the past few years. Is that
my knowledge, I'm giving you a very evasive, defensive answer. My knowledge about UP police and the tactics is newspaper reading only. Only Yogi Adityanath kabhi milenge, so he should be the one who should give you the answer. But I want to tell you, as far as Maharashtra police is concerned, it is not definitely the politicians who dictated this. Neither they took credit, nor they dictated any terms to us. That whatever they did, for whatever right, wrong reasons they did and all that, it is a thing of the past. Let us not give life to the ghosts which have been buried. As far as Maharashtra police, UP, it's a different cup of tea. Let us not again discuss about somebody who is not present here. Prashant Kumar was the DGP who retired and wrote a fantastic book about it. Ma'am, you know about it?
No, I don't.
Prashant Kumar,
I haven't
that
read the book.
Muchwala,
I know.
he recently retired. He has written a book. I suggest you buy and read what kind of a explanation he gives. Atiq Khan and his son, both of them were done to death in 15 days' time. Okay, let us not go into that. Like if I launch into a right, wrong thing about UP police, it's unbecoming of me sitting here and throwing stones at the glass house. I'm also sitting in a glass house. They are also in a glass house. Okay.
Last question, please. Thank you.
I already partly answered this question because you answered about the fearlessness. But the more important one, and you did mention that there's a gender rule that you don't target family members. Were you afraid? And I asked this because I was in class with your daughter.
My daughter Archana and him were in the college together.
Yeah.
My daughter never brought any police car, any police gun, nothing. I hope you...
Were you fearless?
My daughter was kept in ignorance. She didn't read newspapers that time. And she never knew that she was in the danger zone. So she enjoyed her childhood or whatever it is. They all went by school bus and then they did. After all, you can't take away their liberty and freedom by bringing in such kind of things, right?
Yeah, that's right.
But I want to admit to you that if anything had gone wrong, I would have felt guilty all my life. It's a foolhardy thing, but it worked in my case, okay? It worked in my case. But in a way, they enjoyed. Like, why I didn't take 2 policemen? I lose complete liberty of leading my own life if 2 men are within the breathing distance. I hope you all understand, no? We can't do anything about it, no? सिनेमा देखा तो भी दो आदमी पीछे आगे खड़े रहेंगे तो कौन सा सिनेमा देखेंगे? So you have to trade off. My daughter and all, they just lived a normal life. Never. My wife is here. They never knew. Maybe I kept them in ignorant level so that they don't feel the fear of A or I and all. In fact, it happened that she's here. I'm telling a story. In western area, there was a shootout, and I was with her. Then Haji Ali, exactly when the wireless came. I went and left her in the house, then changed into uniform, went to that Jogeshwari area. Some foolish IPS officer ran up and told her, "Madam, what are you doing in the house?" She said, "What?" She says, "Your husband has got bullet injury, he's admitted in the hospital. Don't you know about it?" That's the same incident where something happened. I told her, I dropped her, went home from there. Those times, these mobile phones were not there, 93, 95. I was additional CP Bandra region. But then Mr. Satish Sahani was living in the same building, Ambaravanti I'm talking about, Malabar Hill. They were in the same night, 9:30. That is the time all these activities take, shootouts. So she called and he said on wireless, Sivanandhan called me and I called, he said, your wife has been told this and you call her and assuage her feelings. I know nothing happened. I will tell her now or not. Do you believe a colleague, responsible colleague, calling her and saying that your husband has been shot, he's got bullet injuries in the hospital? Happens, It happens. It happens. It's all part of the game. He is a colleague. He is, in fact, junior. But then he shouldn't have done. Indiscretion. Chalta hai. Next.
I have a mildly flippant question. A lot of people here will be interested in. This second IAN's agency, did they have passports of other countries that you secret from?
Tell me again.
The several IAN's travel agency which issued those EU passports.
They didn't issue the passports. I'll tell you. They took the job, take all the forms, take the corruption money, they will charge a lump sum, and they will go to the police station and all pay money, and the verification process and all is bullet. That is what they did. But then they faced the nemesis. We registered a case, arrested, charged and all the time. Even the passport office people were involved, arrested and all. They went on strike and things like that. What is your question?
Do you find passports of other countries there?
No, yeah, I oh my God, you're asking a very interesting question. See, this Bindi Bazaar is the area where when I was in the Special Branch 2 is running the immigration in the Mumbai airport. Even now, there is a DCP SB2. And I was there for 6 years, 87, 93. We used to bring a gunny bag full of foreign passports, stamps, seals, all foreign consulate, even the degrees, PhD and MSc, all foreign things and all they gave. Original ones they gave. PhD chahiye, MTech chahiye, Pennsylvania chahiye, UPenn chahiye, everything they gave. So when we went for a raid, we used to bring all the equipment. Same way, this spurious liquor. If you remember 91 before, this black label and all was made in Dharavi only, no? Itna chahiye wahan. So when we raided somebody, they will bring all the equipment and they will do a demo as to how the cap is placed, how Surya's liquor is poured, how much is sold. So it is a very fascinating thing. Seven Island fellow may not have had anything like that, but he was doing Indian genuine passports being given to terrorists. I hope you got the drift. See, this LTTE guys used to bring genuine Indian passports from Trichy. They are Sri Lankans. They'll get a genuine Indian passport with a regular address, everything, verification from Chennai, come to Mumbai, pay money to these travel agents and go away to European destinations. If you go to Switzerland and various countries, they run all those food stalls and all. They're all happily settled there through this channel. So Sevalarian fellow didn't have, but they were Bindi Bazaar guys had a fabulous cottage industry running. You know, going to USA that time was costing 5 lakhs to 7 lakhs. Now it is 45 lakhs. You know, adding a sheet, adding a thing, mundi cut they used to say, removal of the photograph and pasting one's other photograph and going. All that is fascinating. This is some other day, some other story.
Another book, maybe.
Another book, yes.
One of the toughest chapters for you guys in book, in the sense that what emotion the literature, the slanted spoken, and why?
See, the strongest emotion you feel is one of helplessness when dead bodies are there strewn with bullets, right? For example, I visited Sunit Katav's car when the body warmth was still there. Amar Nayak had killed Sunit Katav, a mill owner in Mahalakshmi station ki samne in the T junction in his Mercedes car. So when any human being, of course, Chandanwadi, one unknown man, while he was crisscrossing, by mistake, somebody was else to be shot, he was shot dead. So, Quorum brothers I mentioned, or anybody for that matter, Gulshan Kumar ho, Taqiyuddin Wahid ho, anybody getting killed, my emotion is that of helplessness and anger. On 18/10/98, the Diwali day, when 800 businessmen had met with the Chief Minister and Home Minister and showered abuses, and then they said Black Diwali will celebrate and not pay taxes, put up black flags on their business houses. 1998 I'm talking about. As luck would have it, on 18/10/98, the Diwali day, please check your calendar, early morning, 5:30, Antap Hill, a Gupta was shot dead in his house. I went and visited, Diwali day. Then in the afternoon in Dadar, one more businessman was shot dead. I went and visited. Evening, Pali Hill, one more guy was shot dead. 3. I can give you the FIRs, I can give you the names, every detail I can give. But that is the emotion. What emotion you would have, you tell me? It is not that I celebrated Diwali, but what happened to those people, the families, and the terror? Wife and children were there in that early morning Gupta in Antap Hill. Wife and children were there. And we were shot dead right in front of them. What about their emotions? Mine, I felt empathetic about it. I put myself in my shoes, in their shoes, not my shoes, their shoes. And I felt bad that when I am in charge of this city's security and crime, how can this happen? So, as a reward, because I felt empathetic and got involved, I got high BP and high blood sugar from 1998 to now. Even now, I dump a lot of pills and then survive. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I enjoyed. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much.